So you probably still have that charge off, that late payment, that student loan, those collections, whatever the case may be. You're sitting around with these things on your credit profile, right? And not only that, you probably tried disputing it before and this never came off. Or if not worse, you probably paid somebody your hard-earned money and it still never came off, right? So look, my name is John Delgado and I run a credit repair business, Damien Capital Corporation. And what we do is we use a specific model and system to remove any negative or inaccurate item off your credit profile legally, called the Law Key Model. And I'm about to break this whole entire model down to you, A through Z. Go ahead, stay tuned, let's get it. What's going on, everyone? Hope everybody is doing well. Today, I'll be going over with you the Law Key Model. This is the model that I use for all of my clients for every single situation that I run into. This is the exact model that I use. So I'll be breaking it down to y'all. It's pretty much into 3 different parts for y'all. It's done for you. It's law-based, 30, 90 days, simple, right? So let's get right into it, y'all, and let's start breaking it down. So what is the Law Key Model? The Law Key Model is a law-based credit correction system built on federal consumer protection laws designed to permanently remove negative items. And it's 100% done for you from start to finish. Simple as that, right? So why is it not your traditional credit repair? So we're not doing template disputes. We're not doing credit sweeps. We're not, getting temporary removals. Everything that we do is tied directly to consumer law. So all these data breaches that you see, 7-day sweeps, 3-day sweeps, whatever the case may be, yes, it's cool and all, may get these things done, in a week or so, but 30 days down the line, 60 days down the line, 90 days down the line, what is your profile looking like? A lot of the times, most of these things are falling back onto your credit profile, right? So how does the Law Key Model really work? And it's simple. I'm gonna break it down to 6 simple steps for you. So first, we go through a full credit report audit and account analysis, right? So we're looking at everything. We're looking at your name. We're looking at the address. We're looking at dates. We're looking at, when accounts are being opened. We're looking at every single detail on these credit reports, right? We're seeing what consumer law violations are being pretty much violated, right? So any consumer law that we identify as being violated is gonna be captured, right? And then custom law-based disputes are then sent out, and based on what we do see that is being violated, and then a 30-day compliance window is enforced, right? So we are making sure and putting some pressure for these responses to be within 30 days. And then follow-ups and legal escalations are done, and then a permanent deletion is then achieved. Simple as that, right? So now let's move down to this section right here. So everything I just explained to you about the Law Key Model is completely 100% done for you. So we handle all disputes and all escalations, no cost to the credit bureaus, no paperwork stress. Strategy is then adjusted every cycle, and clients receive progress updates throughout the whole entire process, right? So like I said, everything's 100% done for you. You have to do no type of paperwork. You have to call no bureaus. None of the dirty work has to be done by you. It's all done by us, right? So now, what do clients typically see in 30 to 90 days, right? So boom, the first 30 days is what you'll pretty much go through, right? So the full credit report review is done on the first 30 days. The first dispute is then sent out right here. And then we see early deletions. Of course, they are possible, but minimal or uneven score movement is normal as well, right? So that first 30 days, don't expect to see a major jump. This is not an overnight process. I'm sure you heard it before. I'm going to tell you again. It's not an overnight process, right? So like I said, the first 30 days, you are going to see, plenty of deletions coming off, plenty of negative items falling off, but you're not going to see that major score increase, right? So boom. Now we move into the next 30 to 60 days program. This is where the bureau responses are then received, follow-up escalations are sent, and then increased deletions are common, and the score begins to stabilize or improve. So this is generally the next 30 to 60 days of the program, right? So yes, we're going to have more deletions coming off the profile, and then yes, you'll start to see a bit of more increase inside of your score. And then boom, now we move into the last 60 to 90 days of the program, right? This is where we push advanced legal strategies, and then stubborn accounts are then escalated, and then major negative items are then removed, and then noticeable score is then improved, right? So this last 60 to 90 days of the program, this is where you generally see any major negative items that were holding your account down, that are being stubborn within that first 30 to 60 days. That's when you start to see these accounts start to fall off the profile, right? Within the last 60 to 90 days. So now let's move over into some results that we gotten within this Law Key Model, y'all. So this Law Key Model has been implemented to hundreds and thousands of profiles, right? And I was only able to fit only so many credit profiles on here. And yes, everybody came in with a different problem, right? They all had collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, evictions, repossessions, late payments, medical bills, student loans, you name it, they had it, y'all. But one thing that they had in common is that they all had the same exact law key model implemented onto their credit profile, right? And look, I'm about to show y'all just a few results that we got in. Boom. This client right here had a 241 point increase across all three bureaus, 79 total items deleted on the first round, and $22,000 worth of debt deleted, y'all. Another client right here, sending a screenshot of his score, went up 125 points. See another client here, say he had a 77 point increase right here. You see the screenshot as well. Another client here, knock up into the 700s real quick, items deleted off his credit profile. Boom, another client here actually got herself approved for business funding for a $50,000 credit card, 0% APR, after we put the law key model into her credit profile. Boom, another client here, 80-point increase at the screenshot, only the first round. This is the law key model being implemented onto his credit profile as well. Another client here, bumped him way up to the 700s, crazy. 127-point increase right here, 126-point increase, damn near in the 800s. But you got another client here, 22 hard increase removed. Crazy. Same model, by the way. Fix that real quick. But yeah, y'all, like I said, I could only show y'all a few results. Like I said, there's plenty I can show y'all. But let's move over to a more detailed client, right? This is a case study that I took upon whenever I was implementing this law key model onto his credit profile. So this exact client right here, he started right here in the high 400, low 500. He sent me a screenshot when he was first enrolled into the program. He's like, hey, he had a lot of stuff going on. Had collections, had inquiries, had repossessions on there. You can see he was in the 500s, y'all. So he was doing down bad, right? So now, boom, let's move over to the first 30 days after the law key model being implemented, right? It's the same client right here. I was in the 500s. Inquiry successfully being disputed. You can see right here. It's in a screenshot of Experian of all his inquiries being disputed, right? Boom. And then he said, my credit went from a 506 to a 631 in less than 30 days, y'all. Right here, he sent another text from Michael. From a 506 to a 631 in less than 30 days after becoming a Gold package member. Boom. Awesome. I sent the screenshot of his actual increase from his online banking portal from Navy Federal. And we actually got him into Navy Federal as well. And boom, 125-point increase, the actual screenshot of his score being increased. And then loans increase and auto loan disputed. Boom, successful, y'all. And now this is the first 30 days into the program, right? So now we move down into the 30 to 60 days after the law key model being implemented on the same client, y'all. So boom, we successfully have a charge-off dispute off his credit profile. Set the screenshot that bumped him in right over into the 700 range. And not only that, y'all, over $90,000 worth of debt successfully being disputed off his credit profile, y'all. Crazy numbers. $90,000 worth of debt right here. 32K, 500, 600, 2K, 3K, 13, 27, 11, y'all, successfully being deleted off his credit profile. Crazy, y'all, off of one simple model, right? Now, boom, we move over to the last 60 to 90 days after the law key model being implemented on the same client right here. So I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. The final negative account being removed off his profile. I think it was that charge up I showed y'all earlier, right? But yes, we got that removed. He was successfully in the 700s. Now, not only that, y'all, he got himself approved for a $20,000 auto loan and got him a new car, no money down, y'all. He took action with his credit. He knew what his goal was. He came in and was serious about what he wanted, right? He followed the blueprint. He wanted his model implemented onto his credit profile, and he got exactly what he wanted, y'all. In 90 days, he was able to get himself a brand new car, no money down, y'all. Same client, Michael. Let's get it. But yeah, y'all, like I said, this only happens. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up right now. This only happens if you are serious about your situation. These are not for the people. I do not want to work with anybody who is not serious about their situation, who does not want to change. I'm not looking for anybody who's looking for excuses, making excuses for themselves. I'm here to work with the serious action takers, y'all. Let me move this down over into the common questions that are usually asked, right? So look, is this legal? Yes, this is 100% legal. Everything that we do is built entirely on federal consumer protection law. Simple as that. The same laws that these credit bureaus are using against you to put these things onto your credit profile, y'all, we're using the same exact laws to get these things verified and dispute off your credit profile. So if it's not 100% accurately being reported onto your credit profile, we're going to use the same laws and use it against them to get these things removed. So yes, this is 100% legal. Now, boom, how long does it take? So like I explained to you, it's anywhere from 30 to 90 days, just depending on your profile, depending on your situation. It just plays a big factor. And that's why we go over a full credit report audit just to see exactly what type of situation you are in, right? So it just kind of depends on your situation, of course. Now, do you have to do anything? You do not have to do a single thing at all, except, of course, being onboarded with everything. But after that, you do not have to do a single thing. You do not have to talk to nobody. You do not have to call no bureaus. You do not have to send no disputes out yourself. We do everything for you. The whole entire Lockheed model is implemented onto your credit profile, done for you. Simple as that, right? So now, boom, another common question that we get a lot. What if nothing comes off? So, of course, our plan is adjusted every 30 to 45 days, just depending on the response from the bureaus. Sometimes these items don't come up on the first round. They don't come up on the first 60 days. Sometimes these lenders are very, very stubborn, right? It is possible. So first off, it's not an overnight process, right? Like I said, sometimes these accounts are stubborn. But if you do not see any kind of changes at all being done to your credit profile when you enroll into the program with the Lockheed model, and nothing is done to your credit profile at all, you will be guaranteed your full money back, every single penny, no questions asked, right? If nothing is done. Simple as that. So if you are somebody who is serious about having this Lockheed model implemented onto your credit profile, you do not want to be in the situation that you are in anymore. You want to change your life. You want to change your family's life. Generations down, y'all. It starts with one simple step and one simple action taken, right? So look, I only want to work with serious action takers, y'all. Please. I do not have time to waste. Now I want to help people, y'all. I really, really want to help people out who are serious about changing their life, y'all. So look, if you're ready to go ahead, you want to get in contact with me, you can go ahead and schedule a free call in the link down below. I'm gonna put in the description of this video. Yes, it's a completely free call. We're gonna go over a full credit report audit, see exactly what type of situation you're in. And if you do not fit the program for us, we will simply let you know, so we do not waste your time and we do not waste my time at all either, right? So like I said, we'll see if you fit the program, and then we'll go ahead and go from there. Other than that, y'all have a blessed day. I'll see y'all later on.